speak on issues or items not scheduled for discussion on the agenda. Comments should be limited to issues and items germane to the business of the governing body. The Commission will not discuss or debate these items, nor will the Commission make decisions on items presented during this time. Members of the public will be limited to 3 minutes for comments.
Eric Hyde, 66046. I wrote notes for this one. Okay, so we have a budget deficit. The number that's given is 6.6 million. We just added 2.425 million extra for the recent building purchases. So that effectively equals 9.025 million budget, but it's not really said as being that. That budget deficit hole favors the corporate welfare strategy that we've been talking about all night with the IRBs and stuff over the local residents. So I had an idea. I was against the New Hampshire lot sale, but I thought, we could sell the New Hampshire lot, but for 1.1 million, what it's worth. And we could also eventually liquidate the printing press and riverfront buildings that the city just bought and get that 2.425 million back. So that would cut the budget deficit down to 5.5 million. Then we would proceed with 3 rules for adjusted annual savings. Rule number 1, cap the CIP general obligation bonds. Apply a strict 31.41% cap. There's my pie idea. That saves about 0.4 million per year. And then rule number 2, we need a 5-year incentive, an exemption freeze, which is basically a moratorium on all TIFs, star bonds, IRBs, and building materials sales tax exemptions, ban all property tax exemptions. That recovers $500,000 a year of the general fund. Rule number 3, developers fund 100% of currently uncontracted extensions that will need to be added. That turns about 0.2 million per year from MSO overhead. Added up, it generates 1.1 million in clean annual savings per year, totaling 5.5 million over 5 years. It kills the 9.025 million effective budget hole completely. Residents tighten budget belts, you must too. This is the fun part of my saying. The motto of Lawrence is not from ashes to Wall Street and out-of-state banks. It is from ashes to immortality. Thank you.
Anyone else? Patrick's moving. I'm going to make you sit in here next time just so you don't lose like 2 minutes on every.
Right.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
It's just easier to work out there. That's start. Come on. Okay. Okay. I got it strictly timed to 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Okay. Patrick Ross, 66049. This one's called The Tyranny of the Present. Scold me if ever shall I merely follow. Authority can still lack leadership. Everyone can and should lead. The future of Lawrence will be bleak if led by commissioners alone. The history of the Americas is that of war and colonial imperialism. Puerto Rico, la entrada al Nuevo Mundo, became the spear point of the Spanish Empire in the region. El Morro, a hornwork bastion fort built over 200 years by stone, is now under the jurisdiction of the United States National Park Service. Its evolution, shaped by warfare, mirrors the country's people and culture. It's easy to become entranced when sauntering through cobblestone streets and Spanish colonial architecture by the precepts of vacation and not see the new invisible war threatening El Morro that its current defenses are futile against. Cannons are no longer manned in today's warfare. Everything is automated. Data centers are used to control drones that wipe out whole generations of men and women in Ukraine and Russia. Those same data centers autonomously drive trucks down Massachusetts Street and summarize documents for activists to argue against commissioners. Whole families sit at dinner on their phones. Children at another table do the same, as only the adults talk. El pelícano hembra se prepara a volar a los Estados Unidos cuando un conejito la para y le pregunta a dónde vas. El pelícano hembra responde, más allá de las olas, hay un lugar donde las personas no quieren pagar a los empleados de la ciudad. Piensan que solo el dinero resuelve todos sus problemas. El conejito pregunta, entonces, ¿por qué quieres ir? El pelícano hembra, quiero aprender la diferencia entre una ley, una regulación y una norma. El conejito, te enseñan eso allí. Solo si entiendes el contexto, intento e interpretación. El conejito, oye pelícano, quiero decirte algo. Si tú fueras roca y yo fuera mar, haría un tsunami para poderte abrazar. Gracias, conejito. Eso me hace feliz. Ya me voy. Va a haber una venta de plantas nativas. En la última vendieron 10,000 plantas en menos de 4 horas. No quiero llegar tarde. Te veo pronto, conejito. Ah, vale. A mí también me encantan las plantas. Yo te sigo. Hay un barco que chocó aquí por la playa y vi que había una pila de ropa de Sara. Podría construir una vela y te alcanzo en unos días. Vale, conejito. El general se jubiló. Si necesitas ayuda, hay que preguntar al nuevo administrador municipal. Me parece bien, pelícano. Yo te sigo. Dirige el camino. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no more in the room, how about online?
We do have a few. Stephen Watts.
Hi, we're still talking about money. Where I am. You know, I think it's important for commissioners to interact with commissioners from other communities and in other states, and there are other ways to do it than going there. I don't think that the town needs to be spending money on the personal development for individual commissioners, and that's what you voted on tonight. In the consent agenda, which you've stripped the public from being able to pull and access, and when you ask to have it pulled, you guys don't do it. How much money are we going to waste on Ms. Sellers and her professional development with this League of National Cities? The deal is that operation pays its head honcho $700,000 a year, and then he's got, you know, like a whole army of $200,000 people. Let's look at where we're sending somebody to go. Oh my goodness, here, the summer board leadership meeting. No speaker information available at this time. Oh, and then a couple of days later, we're going to the National Blacks Caucus of Local Elected Officials Summer Conference. Down at the bottom here, speakers. No speaker information available at this time. What the hell are we going for if we don't know? And is the person representing the city of Lawrence, or is the person representing themselves individually? I assert they're representing themselves individually, because there is no junta discussion with respect to what we want from the League of Cities and the League of Municipalities. I understand much is written from those guys, but at the same time, we fine-tune it the way we like here in Lawrence, Kansas. We are wasting money for the personal development of people pimping themselves to obtain employment somewhere else, eventually on down the road. That's wrong, particularly when we're in here denying children the ability to go into recreational facilities, which, you know, aren't really that many, since we're waxing sentimental back in there. You know, I was the director of the Teen Lounge, which was above 945 Massachusetts Street in 1974 and 75, which was a youth drop-in center for the kids to come to and just hang out. No rules. That was my rule. No rules. They could do whatever the HE double toothpick they wanted in there, you know, short of killing each other and, you know, some other practical stuff. But at any rate, we have money. So this concept of poverty, the town is poverty stricken, is ridiculous. It's utterly, absolutely ridiculous. And it's not free. You guys need to get that stuff out of your vocabulary. It's already bought and paid for. And now you're trying to market it. You're going to market the people who need the facilities the most out of playing the game. Thank you.
Julie Jones.
Julie Jones, 66047. I wanted, we're talking about money tonight, and I was sitting here thinking about, I am paying property taxes. I shop here locally. I have a business, so I'm paying business taxes. I never had children, so they never went to the schools. I don't have any interest in the exercise places or the bicycle people. I would just like my storm shelter behind my house fixed and my street fixed. But at the same time, I'm looking at money that goes out the door for these, what do they call them? Evaluations like the Northland Corridor, evaluation of what should we do with that. But I thought we had these committees for each one of the organizations to give the people ideas on what they should do with these individual projects. I don't understand why we have to then hire a company to do that, just like we hired a company that was paid for the city building, the Lawrence Journal World building that was purchased. I don't understand why anybody locally couldn't have said, okay, what do you need? And then found you something. Now, I understand for the city manager, that was a nationwide project, and I understand there's platforms where people go and swap out looking at those different type of projects. I understand spending money for something like that, but I don't understand the money that we spend on all these other projects here in town. I just see and feel like, as a senior citizen in this town, that money is, like some have said, wasted on projects and items that nobody wants to take responsibility of saying who did what. So we'll blame it or put it all on a company that comes in and is now the expert, and they're going to tell us all what we need to do. And they don't even live here. And their money that they're getting isn't even spent here. So it's very frustrating to see the money go out the door for something like that, versus we could keep the city community building open or something like that, and not have to dip into the fund balance or into our savings account. That's the way I view the city project. Is it's a business, and we dip into our savings account all the time and blow money. And we're sitting here watching the whole thing and just shaking our head. Thank you.
That's all the comments, Mayor.
Okay, and that brings us to adjournment.
Motion to adjourn?
Before I do, I just want to say Algeria's goal was taken away. So it's
What?
early on, taken back.
It's 1-0
So it's
Argentina. Yeah, they took it away a minute after I said that.
Oh, fine, Commissioner Dever. All out.
They put it on the board, but they took it down.
Okay, let's have a motion.
Yeah, motion.
We'll go watch the second half.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Motion moves.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Courtney, second by Commissioner Sellers. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0. Thank
Good night,
you.
everyone.
Yep.
They took the goal
They
away?
took it away as soon